Hey everyone. So I wanted to start off by saying that my allergies are out of control and the wind is just blowing so much, so that's why I sound really clogged up. Um, and of course, I'm here to talk about a dream that I had, and I'm going to start off by saying one of the verses, and then I'll go into the vision and the words that I heard. So the first verse is Isaiah 9 verse 2, and it says, "The people who walk in darkness shall see a great light, a light that will shine on all those who live in the land of the shadow of death." Now the words I heard were detestable and cult case. So like God is coming against these cult practices. And in the vision, I saw a wall, a brick wall in front of me, but some bricks were taken out like a section, but they were taken out like someone just moved them out, so they weren't broken. And I could see inside, right past the main things that I'll talk about, was another wall where some bricks were removed, but it was dark, and so it wasn't really time for me to see what was on that side of that wall. But what I did see when I looked in was, like, on the right and left side, there was two huge statues of, like, I don't know, like gargoyle type. I mean, it was like demon looking statues with huge wings on there, and they were again, they were statues, so they weren't like beings or anything like that. And there was a person standing in the middle, and he was wearing a cloak and with a hood on it, so I couldn't see who it was, but or if it was a man or a woman. I'm just assuming it's a man, but they had a cloak over their regular clothes and a hood over. And then they walked over to the statue that was on the right, and they had something in their hands, like a tray, or two hands were holding something upward while they were bringing it to the statue on the right. And then the vision stopped, or the dream stopped, right when that person was like a little bit bowing in front of that statue, and then that was it. And then of course, God brought me verses. The first one is Jeremiah chapter 7, and it is verses 28 through 34. And it reads, "Say to them, this is the nation that refuses to obey the Lord. The Lord is God and refuses to be taught. She continues to live a lie. O Jerusalem, shave your head in shame and weep alone upon the mountains, for the Lord has rejected and forsaken this people of his wrath. For the people of Judah have sinned before my very eyes, says the Lord. They have set up their idols right in my own temple, polluting it. They have built the altar called Topeth in the valley of Ben Hinnom, and there they burned to death their little sons and daughters and sacrifices to their gods, a deed so horrible I've never even thought of it, let alone commanded it be done. The time is coming, says the Lord, when the valley's name will be changed to Topeth, or Ben Hinnom Valley, to the valley of slaughter. For there will be so many slain to bury that there won't be room enough for all the graves, and they will dump the bodies in that valley. The bodies of my people shall be food for the birds and animals, and no one shall be left to scare them away. I will end the happy singing and laughter and the joyous voices of the bridegrooms and brides in the streets of Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, for the land shall lie in desolation." And the next verse I got was Isaiah 57 verses 1 through 13. "The good men perish, the godly die before their time, and no one seems to care or wonder why. No one seems to realize that God is taking them away from evil days ahead. For the godly who die shall rest in peace. But you, come here, you witches, sons, you offspring of adulterers and harlots. Who is it you mock, making faces and sticking out your tongue? You children of sinners and liars, you worship your idols with great zeal beneath the shade of every tree, and slay your children as human sacrifices down in the valleys under overhanging rocks. Your gods are the smooth stones in the valleys. You worship them, and they, not I, are your inheritance. Does all this make me happy? You have committed adultery on the tops of the mountains, for you worship idols there, deserting me. Behind closed doors, you set your idols up and worship someone other than me. This is adultery, for you are giving these idols your love instead of loving me. You have taken pleasant incense and perfume to Moloch as your gift. You have traveled far, even to hell itself, to find new gods to love. You grew weary in your search, but you never gave up. You strengthened yourselves and went on. You strengthened yourself and went on. Why were you more afraid of them than of me? How is it that you gave not even a second thought to me? Is it because I have been too gentle and you have no fear of me? And then there's your righteousness and your good works, none of which will save you. Let's see if the whole collection of your idols can help you when you cry out to them to save you. They are so weak that the wind carry them off. A breath can puff them away, but he who trusts in me shall possess the land and inherit my holy mountain. And the last verse I got was Exodus 32:33. And the Lord replied to Moses, whoever has sinned against me will be blotted out of my book. So it's talking about sacrifices that people are making, even talking about human sacrifices that people are making. And this just branches back on to some other things I talked about when God said, don't call conspiracy what people now call a conspiracy. So God is bringing to light the evil deeds of these people and these cult practices that are doing these things. So like he says, he is going to bring what is in the darkness to the light. And as always, find the light and stay in it. Thanks, guys. Bye.